Greetings, I'm Curt Fonger. Today, climb aboard the Manatee Queen as we take a sensational cruise along Jupiter Island. Truly spectacular. Plus, do you have what it takes to be a real estate tycoon? Robert Garrison details some options to help get you started. All this, along with Community Spotlight and great ways to appreciate the value of your home. So let's get started. It is the icon, the symbol of South Florida, the Jupiter Lighthouse. And if you'd like to have a unique view, plus a tour of Jupiter Island and the Intracoastal, come with me aboard the Manatee Queen. We paused our tour for a moment so I can talk to the owner of the Manatee Queen, Doug Snyder. And Doug, ironically, we've stopped here in front of the home that you can't see from the water, Tiger Woods.
One of the few that you can't see. Yeah, he decided he wanted to tree himself in. So this is what you got. He's got 14.5 acres or so. He's got 4 practice golf holes out back, got a golf studio, got a fitness studio, he's got a 100-yard lap pool. Gorgeous place, goes all the way to the ocean. So he's got a beach house on the other side of Beach Road there.
We'll take your word for that one. But we have seen so many other homes of celebrities and billionaires here on the tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Jupiter Island is the highest concentration of billionaires per capita anywhere in the United States. From big executives to celebrities, we've got it all here.
Well, Perry Como is here, Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, Perry Como is further down the way. Olivia John's in the Inlet Colony. Burt Reynolds has a house here. We got Tiger Woods, Greg Norman's on the island, Nick Price is on the island. List goes on and on. And
then there are stories about each of the homes and the people who live there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we do on our tours. We narrate and tell you who lives there and what they do to get all their money. Some of it's old money, some of it's newer money, but
I can tell you from personal experience that seeing the homes from the water is much easier than trying to drive up Jupiter Island and see anything, because there's not much to see.
Absolutely. You go up the beach road and all you see is a bunch of trees and a bunch of guard gates.
So going on the Manatee Queen is the way to go. How many tours do you give here?
During the season, we'll do 2 or 3 every day. We go out 7 days a week. Summertime's kind of our slow time, and we'll do at least 1 trip a day.
And it's the Manatee Queen, and that's the way to see Jupiter Island.
Absolutely, it's the best way, because as you can see, Tigers is the only one that's treated himself in. Everybody else wants to be seen, or wants to see the water, I should say.
It's Tiger's loss.
Yeah, exactly. Well, his big boat's called privacy, so he enjoys his privacy.
Back after this short break. Stay with us.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Kravis Center for the Performing Arts.
Hi, Alton Brown here to share a glimpse of my new live stage show. Large, potentially dangerous, and impractical culinary demonstrations. 3, 2, 1. You can see it from space.
Alton Brown live at the Kravis Center, Friday, February 6th at 8 p.m. For tickets, visit kravis.org.
The legacy that has been created by the International Polo Club Palm Beach is back. The anticipation of thoroughbreds charging down the field, the solid click of mallet on ball, the pop of a champagne cork, and the excited revelry of thousands. Experience the unparalleled glamour and competition this season. Purchase tickets to a match today at internationalpoloclub.com or call 561-204-5687.
Great, you're still there. Now, let's get moving. In the very busy parking lot and warehouse of Two Men and a Truck, I'm here with Joel Dowley, and you've been thinking about your mom.
Well, I've been thinking that my mom always said that reputation was very important. And in selecting a moving company, you should consider the reputation of that company. Now, reputation is what people say about you. Sometimes people say things that aren't true, but overall, you hope that what people say about you is a good reflection of who you are as a person and as a moving company. So before you make a decision on a mover, make sure you know what that mover's reputation is. One of the things that I recommend is going to your local Palm Beach or Treasure Coast realtor and asking them. They've got experience with people who have moved.
Oh, we've heard stories.
That's right. Also, talk to family and friends, neighbors who have moved recently, and hear their stories. Find out movers that have done a great job or some that have left some problems.
It's also good to know how long the mover has been in business. You've been around for 10 years now.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And a reputation is something that you earn over time. Now, another possibility is to go online. The Better Business Bureau is a good source to check. Sites like Angie's List or Yelp or other review sites can give you an idea of what experiences other people have had and what they're saying about the mover that you're considering.
So get to know your mover before you move.
Very good advice.
And you can find out more about Two Men and a Truck from our website, southfloridahomesandlifestyles.com. Joel Dowley, thanks.
Thanks, Curt.
If you're looking for a mortgage, I'll bet your first thought is some big box bank. Well, there are alternatives. Let's talk to one. You're Janine Henriano, Group 1 Mortgage. What's the difference if you are shopping for a mortgage between going to a big box bank, and you know who they are, and you, who's a mortgage broker?
Well, I think, Curt, you know, it's very easy to walk into your local branch where you have your checking account. You see the tellers every week when you make your deposit, and there are some good loan officers there. But the standard in which a mortgage banker or a mortgage broker is held to, those loan officers not only have to be registered, but they also have to go through a licensing process. Continuing education, passing exams, we're held to a higher standard, which is a nice thing for the consumer to know. Also, when you work with a mortgage banker or a mortgage broker, you have more options in loan programs and rates or pricing scenarios. If I walk into the local branch where I have my checking and savings account, they might have the best rate compared to all the other financial institutions on the other three corners that day, but by the time I'm actually ready to lock my loan, the person on the other side of the intersection might have the best rate. When you're shopping with a mortgage banker like Group 1, with the click of a mouse, I can shop you between probably 15 different investors on the day that it's time to lock you.
So you're saying that a mortgage isn't necessarily a mortgage. There are several different programs that a consumer could come in and talk to you about.
Every different lending investor may have a different set of overlays.
An overlay is
where they're not going to do exactly the same things that Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac are willing to do. They may have a lower risk tolerance.
okay.
And everybody has their different risk tolerances and overlays in different places. So it's nice to have those options with one-stop shopping.
Mm-hmm. So I, coming in with a certain set of criteria and a certain income, might find a very favorable mortgage, and someone else might find another mortgage more favorable.
Correct. It's nice to have more than one tool in my box.
Mm-hmm. So once again, a mortgage banker, broker, as you are, you're licensed. And it's not that the big box banks are doing anything wrong, it's just they're under different criteria.
A different criteria and less options to choose from.
Okay, Janine Henry on Group 1 Mortgage. Thanks for being here today.
It's my pleasure.
It's easy to get confused in South Florida. We have 4 major television stations, all with a P in their call letters. Your town, community, or county probably has a saint, a port, a fort, or a beach in its name. Tell me that's not confusing. And in northern Palm Beach County, we have all the Frenchmans. Besides a Frenchman's Nature Preserve, we have Frenchman's Creek, Frenchman's Harbor, and Frenchman's Reserve, all expensive, high-end, exclusive communities. And then we have a very special community. It's called Frenchman's Landing. Let's take a look. Frenchman's Landing was started in the 1980s and was built out by the 1990s. It's nestled between Prosperity Farms and Hood Roads. There are more than 200 homes here. They range in price from the 300,000s to the 400,000s. You'll notice the meticulous landscaping, trees everywhere, lakes, walking trails. This is really good nature. The families here love not only the nature and the serenity, but the playground, including tennis, even a basketball court. The homes here are spacious, between 2,000 and 3,000 square feet under air. There are 1-story and 2-story homes with garages. Many of them have high ceilings in the home, always a desirable selling point. And yet, among all of the amenities and all of the lush landscaping, this HOA is affordable. Frenchman's Landing is close to the busyness of shopping, schools, and the beach, and yet it's peaceful. That's why so many families seek to land at Frenchman's Landing. We are in the Vizcaya neighborhood of Mirasol in a remodeled house, and here's the guy who did it, Aaron Chandler of Aaron Chandler Construction. Aaron, we're in the kitchen. What did it look like before?
Well, when we stepped into this project, the homeowners had just purchased the home, and the home was in dire need of remodeling. It being 12 years old, it needed a lot of updating due to the fact of the builder-grade products that were used along the way. So when we met with the homeowners and we did our 3D layouts like we usually do with our computer programs, we wanted to get back to the level of sophistication the homeowners were used to. So we put marble throughout. We ripped out the existing kitchen, which was old thermofoil doors, older countertops, and basically changed all the appliances to high-end Wolf appliances and lightened the kitchen up tremendously with lighter cabinets, custom color, as well as we changed the color of the island as well too, to a mushroom. Installed new granite Taj Mahal, and turned out beautiful. And
very, very airy, and as you said, it's very light. Let's talk about now the master bathroom and the master bedroom suite.
The master bathroom suite and the master bedroom were, again, not up to par. So what we did was we moved a lot around. We took the his and hers separate side of the master suite and combined them, as well as moved the shower to the window area with the glass block for a more airy, lighter feeling, and moved the tub as well too. The whole home then we took and changed out all of the lighting throughout to LED lighting for a less of a carbon footprint, and put everything automated through an iPad. So now we have our security, our thermostats, as well as lighting at one source through the iPad.
And the bedroom, his and her closets, of course.
Yes, his and hers closet. We do closet-made master suite line, as well as we added about 2,000 linear foot of molding through all the walls in a type of a box picture frame pattern, and painted everything lighter color again for a very unique look.
That is a lot of renovation, and it must have taken you forever.
Actually, this one we had a timeline, and it was 4 months. So we had a whole crew in here for 10 hours a day, 4 months straight.
So all it takes is a little bit of imagination and a lot of work to totally remodel a home.
Yes, yes it does.
Okay. Aaron Chandler of Aaron Chandler Construction. This is a beauty. More to come. Please stay right here.
At Ibis Golf and Country Club, you can have it all while living in the heart of a lush oasis. Here you'll discover a vibrant lifestyle, including an all-new sports village, fitness centre and luxurious spa. We're the only community in the world to boast 3 Nicholas family-designed golf courses. But what really sets us apart are our members.
Ibis, the place everyone wants to come home to.
The Kravis Center presenting Camille A. Brown and dancers Black Girl. Saturday and Sunday, February 14th and 15th at 7:30 p.m. Through gutsy dance moves, spellbinding imagery, high theatricality, and virtuosic musicality, this company depicts the complexities of carving out a positive identity as a black female in urban American culture. Camille A. Brown and dancers Black Girl. February 14th and 15th. Ticket information available through the Kravis Center box office.
SouthFloridaHomesAndLifestyles.com, a great way to search and find area communities based on lifestyles, amenities, and more. Log on today.
Some personal information now. I grew up in Michigan, and I always thought that relations between Canada and the United States were simple. Well, like a lot of things, they get complicated. Jacques Raymond, you are with Keith Conley. You're a cross-border financial planning, tax, and investment firm.
Exactly.
Let's say you're a Canadian and you want to buy property in America. What are some of the issues you're going to find?
Well, first of all, you have to title the property, and it depends on your personal objective and also financial objectives. Are you afraid of lawsuits? You want to protect your assets? Are you thinking about estate tax, probate? Are you thinking of gift tax? These are all issues that have to be taken into consideration. Now, one thing you have to bear in mind as a Canadian, you do not want to go LLC. Okay?
What's that?
And LLC, actually, it's a limited liability company. And the reason it's not good for Canadians is simple. It's because in the U.S., what happens, the LLC, the taxes are paid by the individual. There's a flow-through directly to the individual. Whereas CRA, the Canadian Revenue Agency, does not accept that flow-through. So what happens, they tax the, and you pay for the LLC in taxes, and you pay individually in the U.S. So you get double tax. You get double tax. You don't get the credit that you're paying in the United States, because usually you have foreign credits applied to your Canadian taxes.
And when you're searching for a title in, say, Canada, you're dealing with an attorney rather than you would here.
Yeah, it's different, because here you have a title agent and attorney, where in Canada it's a lawyer. In several provinces, and in Quebec you're talking to a notary. So different people doing different things. The title agent is here has a role that encompasses in particular the insurance, the title insurance. You have stamp tax, that is something that Canadians don't hear about. And in Canada, what happens, you have what is called welcome tax in Quebec, and land transfer tax in other provinces.
Welcome. Yeah.
And those are paid separately. They're not done at the closing. So that's something that's very different, which makes the cost of the titling very expensive for Canadians. When they see the bill, they find it expensive, because what happens, you have all these issues. You have the inspection costs, the insurance, and the stamps, and usually that brings up to about 2% of the value of the sale.
So it's complicated, and your firm, Keats Conley, is in the business of making it simpler.
Absolutely.
And you can find Keats Conley by going through our website. Jacques Raymond, thanks for being here on South Florida Homes and Lifestyles, explaining some of the intricacies of the Canadian and American relationship. We are in lovely Castellina here in Wellington, where Impact Landscaping is making things green. I'm talking to Philip Darling. How do you keep things green?
Well, in the wintertime, Kurt, things start to go dormant. So you have to take a different approach at making sure you're providing the proper nutrients and water for your landscape. You want to use cultural and biological controls to make your job a little bit easier, you know, slow down on the maintenance a little bit. Cultural controls, you want to, you know, roll back your watering schedule, so you're not providing too much water to the landscape, and that will fester, you know, funguses and problems in the soils, since we do have the lower temperatures this time of year.
So many people want to water every day and think the lawn needs it.
Yep, it's pretty important to roll back a little bit this time of year. You can actually cause some significant damage to the landscape if you overwater this time of year. Also providing fertilizer, setting up the turf to, you know, have a nice green look to it, and a proper root base to make it flourish throughout the wintertime.
You're fertilizing once, twice, 4 times a year? What?
4 times a year, usually once a quarter. So you really try to tackle as much turf weeds as you can throughout the wintertime, because with the lower temperatures and the additional moisture, you'll have more, you know, vegetative weeds popping up throughout the turf.
And I'm told it's so important to keep your palm trees well fertilized.
Absolutely. In the wintertime, things do go a little bit more dormant. They're not as green and as lush, so to provide that little bit of extra nutrient to them will allow them to stay at a stable condition so they don't get to a point where they're yellowing out. It's very difficult to bring those palms back at that point.
So a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of timing, a little bit of planning, you're going to have a much better lawn and with less maintenance. Philip Darling, Impact Landscaping, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Curt.
This is PGA National, one of South Florida's iconic communities. With me, longtime realtor Kevin Kent. And Kevin, you know PGA National.
I do, Curt. Thank you for coming out today, and welcome to sunny South Florida. This is winter in Palm Beach Gardens, and it's obvious why people come from all over the country to be in this area. PGA National is one of the diamond lifestyle communities in northern Palm Beach County, very much sought after, has all the sports that you would want. It's got 4 championship level golf courses right here in the community, over 40 unique neighborhoods with price ranges from the hundreds to almost $2 million for the estate homes.
You're going from a condo or apartment lifestyle to single family homes.
You're exactly right. There's condominiums, there's townhouses, there's small single families, there's large estate homes. You've got the gamut here, and people are attracted to that type of a property because there's such a mix. You know, there's such a mix of lifestyles. There's jogging trails, bike trails. People can get out and mix with each other. It's a wonderful, wonderful area.
And not far from shopping.
Oh my gosh, the Gardens Mall, which is one of the premier shopping destinations in South Florida, is only about 1.5 miles away. Restaurants, clubs, everything you would want is so close to where you're at here.
And where else do you get world-class croquet?
This is true. They have an international croquet course near the club. You've got a four diamond resort that your guests can stay at. You've got a world-class spa with over 100 spa treatments available to you. You've got championship level tennis, and you've got the 4 golf courses on site, one of which being the Champ, where they host the Honda Classic, the PGA Tour event, every year. And the Champ also has the most infamous holes in golf, which is the Bear Trap. So people really seek out to come here not only to improve their game, they've got a golf school on site. You've got everything you would want right here, Curt.
And if you fall in love with PGA National, there are so many homes here, there's a turnover, so if you can't find what you want today, there may be available tomorrow.
This is true. Across the different communities, there are 5,500 residential home sites within PGA National, and there's still the kind of green space that we're looking at here today. So it's a wonderful place to be. I invite you all to come down and visit PGA National and Palm Beach Gardens.
Truly a venerable development here. Kevin Kent, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And this is PGA National, an iconic community. Joining me now, the guy with the stethoscope, the Juris Doctor, Jim Chiappi, well-known attorney.
Nice to see you, Curt. Love the bow tie.
Thank you. Whenever I can. We talk so much here on the program about buying and selling homes, but so many people are in a lease. And also, so many people are in foreclosure. How do those two form a combination?
It's so important for tenants now to be cautious and check the public records to see whether the property is in foreclosure
And it's very simple. You just go online and you can check the Palm Beach County, if it's in Palm Beach County Public Records. You input the name of the owner in the records. It shows you any litigation that's pending. And just to be forewarned in case there is a foreclosure at the property. Because technically that can cut off the tenant's right to occupy the property if the foreclosure takes place while they're in occupancy. So it's so important for them even to contact an attorney and be aware of what the remedies are.
So they could be kicked out even if they have a 12-month lease?
Yes, there's a possibility that that foreclosure could be completed while they're still in residency, and their lease would be terminated by the actual foreclosure sale. So it's just so important for them to realize what the status of that property is.
Okay, so they've checked to see if the property is in foreclosure. What else should they check?
There's also homeowners associations and condominium associations. Those payments could be delinquent, so they want to be sure by contacting the association whether those payments are current. Because once again, the associations can even file foreclosure. I don't know if you're aware of that. And those foreclosures proceed even faster than mortgage foreclosures. An association could foreclose in 2 to 3 months. So that definitely could interfere in a 1-year rental if that association forecloses and that tenant now is faced with having to vacate the property.
What about an inspection of the property?
That's also very important for a tenant to consider before they move in, because I've recently had a number of tenants that have had mold issues in their units, and that it was important to know immediately so that the owner can remediate. In particular, one actually had the sprinkler hitting against the exterior wall of one of the bedrooms, and there was a child sleeping there, and after several months the child started to develop respiratory problems. It was linked to mold in that wall. Also, air conditioning can have mold situations, so it's so important to have the AC checked, make sure whether there's any mold in the air conditioning system.
So if you're buying a house, you have an inspection, of course, but if you're leasing, you want an inspection as well?
It's wise to make that investment for an inspection so you can determine if there are those types of issues, yes.
Because the landlord will fix the problem,
it's their
but
responsibility.
you want it fixed right away.
So there's no health issue, especially with mold.
Okay. And of course, if you have a question, call an attorney. You'll get an answer. Jim Chiappi, Juris Doctor, thanks for being here today.
Appreciate it.
Back after this short break.
The legacy that has been created by the International Polo Club Palm Beach is back. The anticipation of thoroughbreds charging down the field, the solid click of mallet on ball, the pop of a champagne cork, and the excited revelry of thousands. Experience the unparalleled glamour and competition this season. Purchase tickets to a match today at internationalpoloclub.com or call 561-204-5687.
So there you are. But before we go, a reminder. Be sure to log on to our website, southfloridahomesandlifestyles.com, where you'll find some really cool search tools designed to help you find the perfect place to live, plus relocation information, things to do, places to go, expert advice, and more. Thanks for joining us. I'm Curt Fonger. Have a good week.